Hello, people. It looks like I am live. Going through this, it's funny going through the StreamYard platform. Uh, it tells me that it's better to plug in my internet as opposed to using Wi-Fi. Does anyone have like Ethernet cable? And what the heck is going on with my hair? Oh my goodness! Hold on one second. It's St. Patty's Day. Hold on one second. Hold on. There we go. There we go. That's green. That green works, right? So the reason I'm doing this, I have no guests. Please leave a comment or a question if you'd like to. Really, I have to keep things up for the live stream to be active on LinkedIn, and it's March, and I don't think I've done anything this month. So I wanted just to spit fire to you a little bit, really quick, and just kind of share with you updates of what's been happening. So I launched a book. I released a book, self-published book. I believe everyone has a story, and how you share that story, whether it's through video, audio, or the written word. I think you need to do that. And here it is. Here's a copy. Here's a copy of the book. You got it. Now go get it. And it was released on Amazon February 14th, Valentine's Day. And last week I got 2 calls, and both were from publishers, right? Publishers. And the first one called up and they said, "Hey, is this Troy Ritchie?" And it was at my lunch hour. I was like, "Yes." And I'm thinking, how did they get the number? Oh, the number's in my book. So any of you can call me anytime. And they're like, "You wrote, is this the author of You Got It, Now Go Get It, Realizing One's Fraud Just I Can Fly?" And I said, "Yeah." And so the first caller says, "Well, you have ranked very high in our review." And I think it was 4.8 out of 5. So it sounds like the dude is reading a script. And again, I'm freelancing here. So anybody got any questions or want to join in, I'll even add you to the stream, for goodness sake. We're talking publishing right now. So I have 2 viewers. I can't see the viewers, unfortunately. So we're just going to keep going. So post a comment and say hello. So so tell me, and it sounds like they're reading a script, right? But who doesn't want to get flattered? Like, right in the middle of the week, you're like, someone calls you up and says, "Your book was reviewed at such a high rate." And so I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And we think this has the marketability to be a bestseller. Okay. Keep talking. Right. And we really like what you've done with it. The only change we would make is the cover. Who designed your cover? I said, "Well, my brother did." And then I kind of tweaked it a little bit. And they said, "Well, we think you you might have to redesign the cover. Other than that, Mr. Ritchie, you've got just a bestseller." Okay, great. And how much does it cost? And he says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, really sounds like you're reading a script and it's going to be a cost." "There's no cost for us to become your publisher." Really? There's no cost. So now I'm like thinking, oh, wow, this is interesting. Is this real? And then he says, no, there's not a cost. In fact, we're going to help you sell more copies. How many copies have you sold? I said, well, it's been on Amazon on February 14th. The numbers don't come in until like 90 days through BookBaby. Well, we think it's got marketability. We tweak the cover, we get it, we redistribute it, and we're going to increase your sales. Why is it listed at $24.99? And I said, I don't know. Why not? Well, that seems extremely high for books with your page count and paperback and first release. That seems extremely high. And I was like, oh, okay. So we want to lower that down to $15 instead of $24.99. And so part of me is like, okay, he didn't really want me to answer the question of why is it listed so high. So I didn't get a chance to. And I said, okay, what's the catch? Because it didn't feel like I had been discovered by some publishing house, and he says, "There's no catch." I said, "There's no money up front. No, you just need to provide us with 1,000 books." 1,000. So I'm starting to do the math in my head. 1,000 books. Holy cow! Okay, send me an email and I'll get back to you. So that was on Tuesday. Wednesday happens around the same time, different caller ID, different number. And it's a lady this time. And she calls me up and says, "Is this Mr. Ritchie?" I said, "Yes. Your book has been highly reviewed by our literary agent." Really? And so I know it sounds like a script again. It sounds like a script. So I'm like, okay, flatter me, let's go. Your book is, and this, I think they had a scale of 1 to 10, and it was an 8.9 out of 10. Loved the cover. They loved the cover. And they're like, "We want to get you going, want to get you started." I said, "Okay, how much does it cost?" There's no, there's the only upfront that we ask is $1,000. So 1,000 books and $1,000, interesting models. $1,000 up front, and you have marketing. I said, "Okay, for how long?" And they said, "Lifetime." I said, "Lifetime?" And they said, "Lifetime." And they said, "We're going to guarantee that you sell a lot more books." And I said, "Okay, you're the second call I've gotten this week. How is it that you can," and by the way, this all makes sense once we wrap it up. I said, "How is it that you can guarantee more sales?" "Well, we're going to lower the price." And she said, "Why is it that you've listed it so high?" So that's the second time that I've been told that I've got a marketable book that can impact a lot of people. Why is it so expensive? And so now she wanted an answer. So I told her, I said, "Well," I said, "Tell you what, the pages in the book, they're glossy, they're quality, right? Glossy quality. And a lot of times I'll buy books that the binding is not very good, and then you can tell it's self-published, and all of a sudden it's coming apart." So I was like, "Look, we're top of the quality, top quality. Book Baby did top quality, and it's got gloss paper, and it does have 385 pages." 365 pages. It's a heavy book, right? Textbook in life. And I said, "And you know what? The content's good. Like I don't want to be the cheapest. I mean, I want to be the Dak Prescotts and the Russell Wilsons of the world, right? Where others may not believe that the value they have is really what it is. They don't care. They're standing true on that." And she said, "Well, if it was $15, then I've been doing this for 20 some odd years, and it was for $15, we would guarantee you this, and that." So this is where I challenged her. I said, "I read a lot of books, 60 books read in 2018, all in the same genre. 60 books read in 2018, 100 books read in 2020, 121 books read 2018, 60 books read in 2018, 100 books read in 2019, and 121 books read in 2020. And I said, I go library first. Like if somebody tells me, 'Dude, you got to read this book,' I say, 'Okay, I got to read that book.' Okay, yeah, I read a lot, so let me add to the list." And I will read, I will go to see if it's a library first. If it's not at the library, then I will purchase it used, like thrift books. I go to thrift books a lot. If it's not at thrift books, then you know what? I got to pony up and I got to buy the book off Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever it is, because I want to read something that someone told me would be valuable to them. I don't sit there and go, "Drat, it's $30." Or, "Yes, it's only $9.99." Because what's important to me is digesting the content so I can apply it to my life and improve. Right? That's why people read nonfiction, is to improve in wherever they're at today. And I told this lady that. I was like, "Look, from my understanding, people aren't buying based on price. And I would love to know, whether it's live or whether it's watching this video later, I would love to know, for you readers out there, what you think. If you go shopping for the prices of it. Like if you go, I'm going to go to self-help and look for the $7.99 books and get those. Like is a value something that's attractive to you? It's not attractive to Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, he's quoted as saying, every time I've overpaid for something, every time I've overpaid for something, I've gotten a high return. Every time I've, bargain shopped, the return was kind of poopy. My life coach 2 years ago, Brent McFall, dude, the bug is like $7,000 to go through his course. He's telling everyone, don't charge $49.97 for your course. Don't charge $97 and 79 cents and play with those numbers. He's like, no, you want to be so expensive that when someone invests in you, they're coming with like ready to pay attention. And when I speak at schools, I'm like, hey, if somebody calls me up and says, hey, Troy, you know what? We need help with our storytelling. We need to better understand our customers, and we want you to come in and give us an hour workshop. Okay, it's $400, $400 an hour. It goes down if there's multiple hours. $400. The kids are like, $400. I said, yeah. Guess how they pay attention when you're charging that high, right? And 400 might not be high for some of you guys are charging like $1,200 an hour. But this idea that, oh man, you got to make it cheap for people to really get involved. I don't buy it. Literally, figuratively, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And part of it's because when you set the expectation high because you believe so much in what you are saying or the painting you're drawing or the website you're building or whatever it is that you do creatively, when you put that value so high, people will find a way to get to it if it's something they want to get to. It makes no sense to bargain and lower your price. Now, if you're going to be shady and you're going to try to cut costs, I mean, glossy pages is high cost. That's the binding is high cost. BookBaby ain't cheap. I can go to Amazon and publish a book that will be paperback for $0 up front. BookBaby, you're looking at between $1,300 and $1,500 upfront costs. So I told the lady, I said, I've done my research, and first-time self-published authors, the lifetime average of sales on that first book, because she said, why'd you write a book? Right? Why did you write a book? And I told her, and I said, from my research, because I researched all of this before I wrote the book, and it was less than 200 sold. Lifetime. That's lifetime. And I said, when we did the crowdfunding campaign to raise money for the Better Editors, because we had two friends that edited and illustrated that did kind of pro bono, and they haven't been paid back full yet. They did it pro bono because they believe in my work, my creative abilities. We need to get pro editors, and I told her, I said, we pre-sold 140 copies. And I said, I'm past the mark of a first-time self-published author. And now we're selling, on Amazon. And I told her, I said, the purpose for this is to get me more speaking opportunities. And I said, so I don't know if I fundamentally agree with you lowering the price of this book to $9.99 or $15.99. And this is where I know the principle I'm standing on is legit. She said, the way we have it set up, because I asked her, I said, okay, what's my cut? She goes, what do you mean? I said, well, if you're on the royalties, whatever, what's my cut? And she goes, $15. And I said, $15? I thought you were selling it for $15. And she goes, yeah, you get all of it. And I said, I get all of it. So my mind is like, okay, the business model here is ridiculous. And I went to their website. It's legit. It's a legit publisher. And I told her, I said, for me, it's not about the money. For me, it's about the value that someone will get when they consume my content. And will this book take someone that is an entrepreneur that has been hustling and grinding with so much activity, and yet they still feel worthless, and they still feel like they're not of value, contribution to society. Like they don't rate with society. And I'm like, that's what this book is for. This book is to help you that are just hustling and grinding. A lot of you Gen Zers and a lot of you folks that are entrepreneurs, high activity. You know what you do. You know why you do it. Yet you have an identity crisis. You don't know who you are. This book is going to ask you questions that you'll have to answer in identifying who you are. And when you start doing that, when you go down the road of who you are, you're opening up a whole mess of emotional intelligence, and you're going to do some soul searching, and you're going to come out better. To me, $24.99 is better than a $7,000 course that I had to pay, right? So whatever it is that you're doing, and again, I'd love feedback. Like if you think it's better as a content creator or as a creator, not content, but creator, if you think it's better to go cheap, to label yourself as cheap, I'd love to find out why you think that. Not because I want to berate you or belittle you. I'm just like, I don't buy it. I don't think we need to devalue who we are as a creative. So let me tell you, as a creative, as someone that is artistic, like what stay true. Be the most expensive. Do it. If you believe, if you stand by, I stand by this. And personally, I have never looked at a book that I wanted to get. I've never either not bought it because of price or bought it because of price. I bought it because I wanted a result from my reading. You see what I'm saying? So your customers are the same way. All you creatives out there doing what you do and doing it so well, price it higher than others. Add value the other way. That's all. I don't see any questions. That's all I want to share. I don't see any questions. So I'm going to peace out and end this broadcast. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and buy my book if you haven't bought it yet. I'll peace out. See you later.